So just quickly put, what are my thoughts on the whole veganism and people who were vegan, famous YouTubers switching back to animals or animal products, you know? This is a tricky subject to tackle because it's such an emotional thing and people are identified with being a vegan, and there's a lot of guilt and upset and anger from like everybody, both sides, the people who were following, the people who switched back to not being vegan, and then the people who were vegan, just selling t-shirts and merchandise. They're like being the leader, they're telling everyone how to do it, and then suddenly they're like, oh, they're not doing it anymore, you know, and they're like, what the hell, I was following you, I bought your stuff, I followed you, I bought your ebooks, you told me you know how to do it, I trusted you, now you're like doing this thing you said you'd never do. So there's a lot of like hurt, and then what happens then is also like blame and just guilt and shame, all sorts of like heavy stuff, you know, a lot of hurt and pain in this sort of situation, everybody, as well as confusion. People like, what the hell, you were my educator, like now you're saying different, like who am I to believe? Everyone's saying different stuff. So it's not sure if any one person has all the answers. I don't think so. My name is Owen Fox, and I do work as a health and life and relationship coach, and I just wish to uplift humanity and people and help in any little or big or small or medium way I can. So I'm going to leave empowering resources and links in the description below, and I'm going to start the video rolling. What are my thoughts? Basically, I want to begin with saying I don't know perfectly and fully, and neither does anybody else. And people are getting very emotionally riled up and upset. But one thing I want to say is I've been following a vegan diet for the last 13 years. I have definitely made many little going back with, like, you know, my emotional, mental, what's it called, relationship with food, where I may have, you know, a little bit of whatever, well, I don't need to get into it, like a little bit dairy and the chocolate or whatever else, blah blah blah, years ago, and a little bit this, a little bit there from time to time, but not really, nearly always, I'm always 100% vegan. But I know that might upset some people, but bottom line is I've been basically into raw veganism for also 13 years, on and off. Now, as time has gone by, I've been eating more raw food, and I've been sticking with 100% veganism for way longer, like months and months and months and months and months and months and months. And I've even dipped into fruitarian, where I just eat fruit, and I've also been doing some fruit-only cleanses and juice feast cleanses. And I think if you're a vegan and you want to stay vegan, then there are ways to probably most likely get, for a lot of people, to get supplements or herbs or superfoods, or also fasts, like not just one or two, and to do it in a more like informed way, where you have a protocol and a system and you stick with it, and therefore you won't be lacking in your vitamin D3 or K2 or B12 or iron or protein or any of that sort of stuff. Like, for people who don't really care, then they can go ahead. They don't need to care about this necessarily. They aren't going to care, but I wish they would, and I think they should, because I think we do. I think it'd be lovely if we did take into account the pain, hurt, suffering, loss, and trauma of animals in the animal situation of the industry. Like for me, definitely animals feel hurt, pain, loss, trauma, and suffering, either themselves directly before or during being killed, which I do not agree with. I just think if you just look at animals and pets, it's never going to be acceptable socially. We're never going to hurt, kick, stamp on, or kill a pet and think it's justifiable. I think we all know if we have pets, how beautiful and unique, and they have personalities, and they love things, and they like things, and they hate things, and they want to get away from hurt, pain, or discomfort. And there's so much hurt, pain, loss, trauma, and suffering in the animal industry, whether or not it's organic and grass-fed and out in the field, or the factory farm. Now, I don't want to, and I shall not Don't want to hurt anybody in this video, everyone. Just want you to think for yourself. I'm not trying to say, you know, anyone's particularly wrong. We're all coming from where we're coming from. And I could have been born in anyone else's shoes. And then I would have had all this like upbringing and programming and trauma myself to deal with mentally and emotionally. And I would have made mistakes and I would have fallen back down. Because I've fallen down and got back up loads of times in my life, everybody. In the health topic, the everything topic in my life, you know. And we live and learn. So let those without sin cast judgment. So, you know, like, I think it's very good that we all voice our opinions and share what we don't like and what we like, but try to do it in a way where it's not like shaming or like condemning other people to be bad people. Like, a lot of people just don't know enough information on how to do things. Like, if you want to learn from people who've been doing it for like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, you know. Like, I think a lot of people who are cooked vegans, they're eating a junk food cooked vegan diet, and of course they're going to be like hamburgers, like bad food combining, dehydrated like stuff, grains that I don't even agree with whatsoever. I'm way more in favour of raw food. It's got a billion advantages. I'll put up a video either below and up in the cards in this video. Like, raw vegan and eating more simply towards a simple fruitarian type of lifestyle, coupled, if you really need to, with definitely with possible herbs, superfoods or supplements if you feel you need to, because a lot of people don't. But I take a few of these things just to keep it safe, keep it on the... I'm recovering from serious wipeout and adrenal fatigue myself, so I don't like to hurt the animals, so I've stayed vegan. I have a holistic approach, like my own, nurturing my own spirituality, practicing and learning about self-love, forgiveness, compassion, patience, simplification, getting it in nature, exercise, sleep, rest, healing my relationships, forgiving and healing my past, learning my lessons. Couple all, like if you can call it meditation too, couple all of this sort of stuff with your diet, everyone, and then you're on a win-win situation. If you're just doing your diet, you're missing out on some stuff. You have to go within too, and for the best results. So I was going to say, like, it's good that we express ourselves, but try not to be too self-righteous and condemning other people. You know, they're trying their best. Let's try and support and educate each other. Like, keep it kind, loving, compassionate. Try to help each other and practice compassion and understanding, you know. So, not to be on a righteous high horse. Like I said in the video earlier, like, I definitely think we have to question and look at the animals and try find a vegan way, if possible, where it doesn't involve, you know, for example, the dairy industry. The baby females are taken for the dairy industry, right? The female cow who's grown up is impregnated every year, which is very like, it's just exhausting to give birth to everyone, even as a human being. I know so many humans, it's exhausting to grow a baby and then to breastfeed or to be milked. It's exhausting. So it's even like very sort of mean and unfriendly to a degree, depending on the farm, or especially factory farming. You're just exhausting the hell out of somebody. It's not nice. So this is just the fact of the matter, and I'd love it if we had more compassion for everybody, humans and animals. And then they get really tired and sick and old fast because they're degenerated because of excessive birth and dairy. Then they're killed for the meat industry, for eating, which is kind of like sad too. So the dairy, you have to be careful with dairy. And then, of course, the baby young males are given for the dairy industry, or I mean for the meat industry, because they're unwanted. They want female cows for making milk. So then again, like then the babies are taken away, whipped away from the female mothers, and then that's really sad and lostful and traumatizing and upsetting, hurtful and painful emotionally for the baby, and then the adult, the mama. Babies are supposed to be kept with the mum, and milk's meant really for the young as well, you know. Just information trying to share with everybody here. I'm not trying to like criticize or give out to anybody whatsoever. What else? I think it's very important to speak to children in a kind way, and I hope I'm exemplifying it in this video. You know, I think the worst thing you can ever do is to be closed, or to nice flowers, guys. I love it. The worst thing, the flowers all over them, dandelions. The worst thing you could ever do is to be so smug and arrogant to think you're right and everyone else is wrong, and to be really closed to listening and learning from anybody. That's never going to get you anywhere in life, everybody. Listen and learn. Listening is way more important than talking. If everyone talks and no one tries to listen, nobody will get anywhere. If everyone tries to focus primarily on listening and receiving, and then also to talking, then everybody will win. So first things first, get the things right in the right order. So yeah, learn from people who've been successful in a raw vegan diet if you want for like 10 to 50 years. Fred Beachy, Paul Neeson, Ann Osborne, Orville Douglas, myself, Marcus Rothkranz, who else? There's quite a lot of people. Dan MacDonald, Ted Carr, who else? Who else springs to mind? Annette Larkins, like she's like 72 and she looks like gorgeous. She's like, she's looking great. She looks like in her 40s or something. So yeah. And in terms, I'm going to put them on #1 supplement recommendation for vegans. It has K2, D3, B12, all the B vitamins. It has probiotics, vitamins, minerals, enzymes, and herbs. It's just a really good 1-a-day capsule. I'm pretty sure you can take 2 a day if you really feel like, if you're feeling run down or really low. But I'm going to put some of this stuff down below, okay? Everyone would recommend that. And again, not everyone might need this. It's maybe just if you're playing it safe or you have a lot of wipeout or degeneration already in your body, a lot of health problems. And you also then feel you're not getting enough from a raw vegan or even just a cooked vegan diet. So everyone, there's a lot of food you could eat. You know, there's a lot of things you can eat in a raw vegan diet or a vegan diet. But keeping it raw is the best, as high as possible. Keeping it simple is the best for the most part too. Listening to your body, not overeating, combining lifestyle factors and holistic, emotional, spiritual type of psychological factors too. Work on everything. Don't get caught up in the whole like fighting and aggressing and like condemnation and all that sort of stuff. Work to uplift, support, be of service, and to be kind, loving, and compassionate. We want to be more friends, and think about how you might talk to your son or your daughter. You want to talk in a way that's like supportive and helpful. Uplift, bring information that may help, encourage. But like I said, I do understand all the hurt and all the confusion and the pain and the emotion from the people who are followers, like Tim Sheaf, for example, and Raw Vanna. I never really followed them at all, you know. If you want to learn more about raw foods, I'd recommend learning also from Dr. Morse, even the Mangotarian, myself, and all the other people I mentioned, Dan MacDonald, Marcus Rothkranz, just like very informed, super healthy people. Orville Douglas, a fruitarian of 5 years. He's a powerhouse, man. A lot of these are like very muscular, very fit, very toned, very healthy. They only need like 3 to maybe 4 or 5 hours like sleep per night. Depends who they are. Some need like 7, 8, 9, or maybe not 9, but like 6, 7, or 8. Whereas Orville, who's a fruitarian, only needs like 4 hours sleep, I think. He's ripped, muscular, toned, full of energy. The more simple you keep your food, the more you save loads of energy. For example, the 2 most energy wasting things are both digestion and elimination. The more we cook our food and make it complicated and many ingredients and dehydrated, the more we waste loads of energy on digestion and loads on elimination. The lighter and simpler and more raw you keep it, like a fruit, you save loads of energy in digestion and loads on elimination. That's why he only needs 4 hours sleep per night or so. 4, 4.5, something like that. And he's got loads of energy all day, and he works like 16 hours a day because he can, and he likes it. And he works out like 2 in the morning or something, like 4 in the morning is up, he works out, doesn't eat or drink anything for like another loads and loads of hours. He's just a powerhouse because he's fit, strong, he's clean his body. So a lot of these vegans who are like going back, they haven't healed the damage done to their body. That's like the main thing they haven't done. Then they blame it on the diet, but really they're eating the wrong, possibly they're eating the wrong diet, possibly the wrong combinations, possibly they may need temporarily supplementation or herbs while they're fixing their damaged body. And they haven't actually cleansed their body with enough proper informed fasting and cleansing, like juice cleansing or fruit only cleansing without any avocados or durian, or water fasting, or even some dry fasting. they haven't actually done it enough in an informed manner. So therefore the body's still damaged or broken to a degree, or malfunctioning or malabsorbing. Then they blame it on the diet. So they go back to the animal products, but you could get this from the supplements for the most part, for sure. And this is a shame for the animals, and it's a shame for people who wish to remain vegan. You know. So the only time I think it's okay, if you want to call it okay, to kill an animal is if you're dying in the wild and you need it for survival. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of people wouldn't do that, but most of us would. And we can't really say until we're truly dying and struggling for our life. But like, I don't agree with killing humans, I don't agree with killing animals. Just because killing animals is socially acceptable doesn't make it right. Don't forget, everybody, at one stage, bloodletting, like chopping and letting of blood, was supposed to help let out the evil spirits causing the disease. Sacrificing children and women and adults, men, was socially, culturally acceptable. That doesn't make it right, everyone. We have to like be logical and think for ourselves. How on earth is hurting, killing, abusing, traumatizing and having animals go through loss, like, how is that good? How is that not acceptable? The thing is, when we don't need it, we should always look for the other options. And we don't usually really need it, everyone. We just have to fix and learn about our body. People are in that process of learning. So what do you do then? It's a tough one, because it's culturally and morally acceptable and it's socially acceptable. You can't, like, it's hard. Like, slavery was once normal. Like, bloody hell, like, marrying, like, children and girls is, like, was once socially normal and acceptable. Like, slavery, like I said, like, burning women at the stake, calling them witches. Just because it's acceptable doesn't make it right, you know what I mean? We have to question things. I don't think it's ethically or morally right to kill animals. And just because you kill them fast or kill them ethically or say a prayer or bless them doesn't make it right either. Could you imagine trying to use the same argument for killing a human being? I killed them fast. It was like a clean death. It was like I did it with like a prayer ceremonially. Like, who gives a shit about that? And I'm just saying, like, who does give a shit about that? Nobody. Like, would you like to be killed ceremonially and say, I blessed and gave gratitude and I ate all of their body. I didn't leave a part to waste, so I really honoured them by eating all of their body. I ate their bones, their ears, their cheek. I think it's really good when an indigenous culture says a prayer, they respect the life, they eat all of their body, they don't like throw away the stomach, they eat everything, they even use the intestines. Nobody would want to be killed that way or like treated that way, you know, nobody. No human being would, and neither does any animal. So that's just like a cop out or get out of jail free card. Like, it doesn't make any real emotional sense. It's just a mental way of like covering up the fact of making yourself feel better for killing something. Now, like I said again, if you're dying or surviving in the wild and you've little to limited no other options, then you may need to do this possibly. Who knows? Maybe that might happen to you or somebody you know someday. It could happen to me, I don't know. But the point is, when we live in society and we have loads of options, both vegan and we can order things on the internet, and there's herbs, supplements and superfoods and enzymes to help us in healing and supporting our body, then this should not be an option because of the hurt, pain, loss, suffering, trauma entailed. Like, it's just, it's a very, 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 very sad thing, everyone, what happens. Like, I know what happens when I stand on a cat's tail. I know what happens if I stand on a dog's paw accidentally. I've had pets. We never want to hurt or abuse our pet. If someone touched our pets, we treat them, it's almost like they're touching our children. We'd want to like punch somebody. We don't accept like people hurting animals. It's socially disproved. So why is it? It's a double, not making any emotional sense, a double standard to allow and to think it's normal or acceptable for us to enslave or mistreat or abuse or slaughter, to kill and to murder an animal. Like, you'd never do that. And one other thing, everyone, I don't even think we're omnivores, like, on another note. I think we're frugivores, we're a fruit-eating species. For example, I've never met a human being who salivated and, like, opened their eyes, like, wanted to, like, tear apart a cat or a dog or a pig or a pigeon or anything like that. We are not a bear, we're not a dog, we're not a cat, we're not a carnivore or an omnivore. Added to that, we're not even built to be able to capture them with our own physiology. Like, it's not instinctive, everyone. An instinct is something that's automatic and it's hard to take it away. For example, we're instinctively sexual beings. We instinctively want to help somebody who's hurt, if fallen, a fallen human, a fallen old lady crossing the street, a child who hurts their knee and falls. Like, oh, we want to help. We're instinctively good. We naturally instinctively, you know, want to get aroused or get like, you know, hard on, or like get liquidy in our vagina. Like when we get aroused, and let's say we're naked next to either the opposite sex if you're heterosexual or the same sex if you're homosexual, we naturally get aroused. It's instinctive. We can't stop it. It's like it's a body happening. It's like it works up our energy. In the same way, that never ever happens with like us looking at like an animal. Like we never want to kill it. Like, and even if we tried, like I don't know anyone who's really enjoyed truly trying to kill an animal. All the blood, guts, gore, squealing, crying and hurt and pain and begging for their life, and squeals and agony. Who enjoys that? Maybe a carnivore might enjoy that, like a lion or a cheetah or a tiger. Maybe a bear. And another thing, like all these omnivores and carnivores, they can eat rotting food. Like they like it. It makes them, it blows their whistle. Like the same way as we might get sexually aroused, they get aroused physiologically. They, ooh, some rotting flesh. Let me eat this. I love it. I'm hungry. I want to eat that. Give it to me. We don't have that whatsoever. Another thing, we can't, because we don't have the digestive strong stomach acid juices to kill all the bacteria in the rotting flesh. So like, we just got to cook it usually, and if we don't cook, we eat raw flesh, and no, it's not the way we are, everybody. We have to think about this. Sorry, I'm just trying to help. It's just a silly bad idea, like, it's just not good. There's other ways to achieve maximum powerful health through fasting, raw foods and fruit cleansing, and a fruit-based raw food diet of the simple kind. Just keep progressing. So we are not omnivores or carnivores. We've no desire to do all that sort of stuff I was mentioning. It's a very important point, everybody, because we've been tricked by the media and the Illuminati or the old world order, or whatever you want to call them. It's a power game. They want to control us, keep us sick, dumb and stupid, so they can control us, kill us off, take our money, play the power game of the world. They think they're like the bosses of the world, the universe. They're just like, some people say it's conspiracy theory. I don't really care if you think that. Whatever, it doesn't really make too much of a difference. You call it the media then. The media are advertising meat, they're advertising drugs. It's a corrupt system. They're trying to sell their product and feed you a whole lot of bullshit and lies in the process. Then obviously you see what happens with the whole hospitals and chemotherapy and the drugs. They never get you better. They keep you hooked, they keep you worse. Then you're on 5 drugs instead of 2. And you're not like running around with the energy of a grandchild when you're 50 like John Rose. John Rose, epic example. He's got like loads of energy. He's been a raw vegan for like something like 30 years. He's a ridiculous powerhouse of energy. And my energy personally has only gone up since I started this journey 13 years ago. Gradually getting more and more into raw foods consistently, more and more into simple fruit-based eating, and giving up cooked food more and more, and pretty much like 99.9% vegan for the last 13 years. Sorry, I'm not perfect. I did slip up a little bit sometimes. That like 0.1% or whatever. So everybody, I hope you consider sharing this video. Check out the description box below. I'll try and share some things, like some of my favourite companies, some of my own herbs. Herbs I like the most. Herbs that I think could help you. Get a juicer. If you want more nutrition, get a juicer as well. Juicing is phenomenally powerful for your health. Juice like celery, greens, fruits. Add in some whatever you want to do. If you want to add in some vegan protein powder. Don't even think you need protein. It's not that important really, unless you're like a bodybuilder or like a really active athlete possibly. But even then, like Orville Douglas, it's like the powerhouses who are already clean and strong. They don't need any protein. They're already ripped. They're already winning races. Ted Carr, Ann Osborne. They're already trashing the place. Like they're beating everyone else, and they're supposed to be dying with lack of protein. And they're absolutely perfect. Like, a lot of this is just all about money. Money. Disempowerment. Lies. Confusion. Cooked vegan isn't the way to go. Raw vegan is the way to go. Raw vegan isn't the way to go. Simple, fruit-based, fruitarian style is the way to go. And fasting, and exercise, and sleep, and holistic healing and awareness mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, relational, heal, all that sort of stuff. Practice and learn self-awareness. Don't just look about health. Look at my videos and other people's videos of the same nature about self-awareness, personal healing and personal empowerment. Otherwise you're only going to get so far, and that's cool. Maybe it'll await you later on in life, but don't forget, go there. So if you're still watching this video, everyone, you must have liked it. I made it with good intentions, hoping it'll help you. Share it with any of these people on the internet you feel like might help. And if you haven't already, give it a like or a dislike. Hit the subscribe button and the bell button for all the notifications coming up. And thanks for watching. Lots of love to you, and hope you've learned a lot in this lecture, this video. And I hope your life goes forward. Hope you have a happy, peaceful day today. Hope you experience peace, love and tranquility in your heart, mind, body and soul. Hope you enjoy the sunlight, and I hope you learn to meet all of your needs and first become aware of them. And hope you love and appreciate life, because life's the biggest, greatest gift. All this rigmarole we're experiencing right now, the beautiful learning lessons, wouldn't be able to happen if we weren't all alive, if you weren't alive. So life is the best. It's so good to be alive. Never take that for granted, everyone, because you could die tomorrow, I could die, your loved ones, your mum, dad, parents, children, friends, anyone could die tomorrow, everyone. We're not guaranteed today or tomorrow. Just don't take it for granted. Not a guarantee.
Not really.
Hi. So just love it, like it, appreciate it. And just go forward from there and learn. Be humble. Practice simplicity. Practice and be patient. And just keep learning and appreciating. And you will have the best life ever. Pretty much. Okay. Thanks for watching. My name is Owen Fox. Love you if you decided to friend me on Facebook. Any questions or comments, leave your comments. I'd love to hear and join in the discussion. Heart to heart.